You can't call them dumb, you can't call them crazy, you can call them square, and that seems to be what a lot of right-wingers don't like about him. I keep asking, what is it? Well, I don't know, he's kind of a Ken doll, he's sort of stiff. I think we've had enough of hip. Hip has nearly wrecked the country. Let's try square for a while. Thank you, I'm going to take your questions now. We have mics in the audience, and I'm going to take your questions.
Hi, thank you so much for being here. Incredible speech. I just was asking, or wanted to ask, as a female college student, I'm often confronted with the question, well, how can you be a woman and a conservative at the same time? Aren't those two things antithetical? Isn't the conservative movement trying to take us back through the feminist movement all the way back? Is there anything that you can speak to on that topic of how you can be both a female and a conservative and the two actually work hand in hand?
I think all real females are right-wingers, and I can tell you that based on experience, and my bodyguard will back me up on this, all pretty girls are right-wingers. You cannot, I mean, they may have no politics. Pretty girls may have no politics, but you cannot tell with men, and it's very frustrating. Some of my male fans have hairs to their derriere and tattoos up and down their arms. Some of my antagonists seem like perfectly attractive, preppy young men. Girls, pretty girl is walking toward your table, you know she's a fan. No, I think it's the feminist movement that has set us back. I mean, I don't write about feminism. It seems so manifestly obvious. It doesn't need my stunning skills or analysis. But I mean, the reason unattractive, I suppose, well, the reason liberal women are liberal is because they have to date liberal men. And, you know, they get, as we've seen from Bill Clinton and Dominique Strauss-Kahn and Anthony Weiner, we see how liberal men treat women. So you don't want to be stuck in, I'd be angry too. I'll take 69 cents on the dollar or whatever the current feminist myth is about how much we make just to never have to pay for dinner. That seems like a fair deal to me. No, and you know what liberals want to, again, as we've seen recently, and this crazed zealot feminist secretary of HHS, it's all, you know, birth control for all, and we're going to jam this down your throats. Who does that help? I think it helps Anthony Weiner and Bill Clinton and Dominique Strauss-Kahn. You're a lot better off being a conservative, and also the myths you hear from the feminists, I mean, they've all been beautifully disproved in the person of Phyllis Schlafly. The one time Phyllis Schlafly was wrong in a debate, which I mentioned in my book, Slander, a little-known fact, except for the millions of people who have read Slander now, was she was debating a feminist. The feminist was saying Harvard Law School has only been admitting women for so long, and Phyllis Schlafly said, no, that's not true. I almost went there when I was in graduate school at Harvard. It turned out Phyllis Schlafly was wrong. Harvard was not admitting women, but they thought she was so hot they were going to make an exception for her. There's your conservative woman.
How confident are you that when Mitt Romney gets elected, that he's going to do what he says now and in the debates that he's going to do it? I think the issue with him has been with the people that are voting not Romney, the confidence level. How confident are you?
I mean, I think you'd have to be insane or a Newton to think that Romney is not going to repeal Obamacare. He's been clear and forceful on that from the beginning. I mean, if you can't believe that, I mean, we may as well speculate. What if Obama starts reading, you know, Milton Friedman and becomes a free marketer? It's just, yeah, I guess it could happen, but no, I think there's nothing you could be more confident about. I also think, I mean, I've said this before. I think this is the place to say it, and you should all be having extra cocktails tonight. Right-wingers have triumphed over the Republican Party. There are no Rockefeller Republicans running anymore. In 2008, just 4 years ago, one of our candidates was pro-choice, one was against Clinton's impeachment, one voted against the Bush tax cuts, wanted to shut down Guantanamo, called waterboarding torture, wanted amnesty for illegals, and that was the one we ran. We've won. There are no Rockefeller Republicans left. Now it's matters of degree, and if you look at them on the issues and not which one, gins up the audience by attacking the media, which I'm all in favor of, but doesn't get us elected, or denounces Obama as a Kenyan colonialist. Romney, of the four remaining, is the most conservative. He has the strongest position on illegal immigration. He has consistently, and I must tell you, right-wingers, after Obamacare, the single most important issue is illegal immigration. If we lose that, the entire country goes the way of California, where no Republican will ever get elected. The speaker you were listening to before me is brilliant, is beautiful. She's a woman. She couldn't get elected in a statewide election in California in 2010. There was nothing we were losing in 2010. Well, except where we had some people trying the High Wire Act of, Christine O'Donnell in Delaware and Sharon Angle in Nevada, and I forget who it was in Colorado, which was fine. We weren't going to take the Senate anyway. And by the way, Christine O'Donnell was more conservative than the Republican she was running against. That is not the case with Newt Gingrich. He is not more conservative. Point one. Point two, this isn't a Senate election. This is the future of the country. This is no time to be, oh, try this.
Last question. Last question.
Councilman Scott Bill Hurst from Hopkins in Rhode Island. I'm proudly going to hopefully run for Romney delegate in Rhode Island if I get on the ballot. My question to you is, what do you think of the future of the 10th Amendment and the respect from the federal government for state, local, and county officials?
Well, I would have thought the more Republicans we got elected, the more the Constitution would be respected. I've been a little concerned recently that some conservatives seem to be adopting this liberal trait of calling anything you like constitutional and anything you don't like unconstitutional. For example, the following sentence makes sense to a liberal. Bill Clinton saved the Constitution by repeatedly ejaculating on a White House intern. That makes sense to it. That's not supposed to make sense to us. Constitutional refers to the most brilliant document ever conceived in the minds of men for promoting freedom, and it is precisely because of what you allude to, the 10th Amendment, but it's not just the 10th Amendment. The Constitution is a limit on what the federal government can do, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason that is freedom promoting. It's not just that it's the Constitution and, we'll just say we like the Constitution. It's because it's a fantastic Constitution, and there's never been anything like it in the history of the world. By allowing states and federal governments, elected officials in states and local governments, to make all the decisions to, as Rick Santorum has said, though I think he has not explained it as well as it could be explained, yes, states can ban contraception. States could have a law saying you have to walk around in a purple hat. There's nothing in the Constitution that says they can't. They probably won't do it because we trust the people to vote for reasonable laws. But this is what allows, New Yorkers can vote for abortion on demand and peep shows and no salt. And in Tennessee, they can have salt on the tables and guns on every walking human, and they can have 85-mile-an-hour speed limits. That allows the maximum number of Americans to fashion the sort of society they're living in by breaking it down to as small a unit as possible. This is why Romneycare constitutional, Obamacare unconstitutional. And the worst thing about Obamacare is certainly not the individual mandate. That's the legal argument. The worst thing we just saw this week, and it's just the beginning. With Kathleen Sebelius, and I'm glad we're ending on this because I don't want to leave you without without making this point. This isn't a Catholic issue. This is a freedom issue. The point is, insurance is to insure against unexpected catastrophes. It's for fires, it's for accidents, it's for cancer, it's for sudden marriages to a Kardashian. It is not. You don't call up your State Farm auto policy for an oil change. Birth control, what they are doing is using insurance for communism, because they're about to start taking over every single aspect of what you can do, what you can eat, and they're calling it insurance. That isn't insurance. Birth control is, at most $20 a month. What is an abortion? $400, $500? You don't get insurance for that. And this woman who is going, she is Obamacare. The title of the bill should have been Kathleen Sebelius, feminist zealot. Soon, every insurance plan in the country is going to have to cover everything that would be desirable to, the San Francisco City Council. It's going to be every crazy liberal idea. My point is, it's not insurance. And then, once every insurance plan in the country by federal law has to cover 1 million different things, restless leg syndrome and aromatherapy and gambling addiction and gender reassignment surgery, oh yeah, then you can buy insurance across state lines. But every insurance plan in the country will have to cover all this. It's not insurance. This is a scam. It is not about Catholicism. It is about the government taking over your lives. It is not Romney Care. Thank you.